us at today's ACO Direct Dealer webinar. We're going to wait a minute or so, let a few others hop on, and then we'll kick it off. Sweet. Well, I think we're good to get started. Today we are joined by Zach and Brent from the Massey Ferguson team, who's going to walk us through their new campaign and brand messaging, Achieve Better. And then we also have Brandon from the Fendt team, who's going to walk us through Grow Bold 2.0. After that, we're going to walk through some practical implementations of these campaigns and how you can weave them into your strategy at your dealership. So I'm going to kick it off and let our presenters introduce themselves.
Hey, I'm Zach Rodemaker. I'm the brand marketing manager and dealer marketing manager for Massey Ferguson in North America. And then I'll let Brent and Brandon introduce themselves before I jump into our Massey Ferguson slides.
Thanks, Zach. Hello, everyone. My name is Brent Stammen, content marketing manager for Massey Ferguson. I'm in charge of all of our social media and content needs.
Perfect. And Brandon Montgomery, welcome everybody. Good afternoon. I'm the Fendt brand manager for North America and looking forward to visit with y'all today.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Well, we'll jump right into it. So today you're going to hear from both of our different brand campaigns. So Massey Ferguson, our Achieve Better brand campaign that we've recently come up with within the last year or so. And then you'll hear from Brandon on the Fendt Grow Bold campaign as well. So diving right into it. Massey Ferguson, our new brand campaign, Achieve Better Outcomes. Hopefully most of you have seen this in some capacity over the last year or so, whether it be in one of our meetings or on a farm show or anything else that we've kind of sent out. But I'm going to kind of dive into our strategy and what this means for the brand and for the dealers. So if you've been in any of our meetings over the last few years since our brand refresh, you've probably seen this slide. So this slide kind of holistically talks about the Massey Ferguson brand and what does it mean globally. So, you see our brand logo there, our brand tagline, Born to Farm, and our brand statement. So Massey Ferguson offers a straightforward, dependable, and accessible experience, providing the best value for farmers. So you've probably heard straightforward, dependable, accessible in some capacity over the years. And these are kind of the ways that we describe those brand drivers. I'm not going to dive into these too much since most people should be aware, but this kind of helped us shape where we went next with our Achieve Better brand campaign. So for the last few years, Massey Ferguson's kind of been on a brand awareness journey. So not to say that people in North America don't know who we are. I think we're maybe one of the most recognizable AGCO brands in North America, but maybe most people's experience are, hey, my grandfather used to drive a Massey Ferguson, or they might have had a bad experience with an 8600 or something like that in the past. So when I say brand awareness journey, it's not necessarily they don't know that we exist, but we want to kind of change the perception of who we are in the industry. And so we looked at, what do we want the farmer to be able to accomplish? We want the farmer to achieve better outcomes when they think of Massey Ferguson and their Massey Ferguson equipment. So we came up with this brand campaign, Achieve Better. So kind of at its highest level, we think about it as no matter the season or the challenge at hand, farmers should never have to settle for equipment solutions that don't help them achieve better, whether that be better cost of ownership, better dependability, better crop quality, better profitability. With Massey Ferguson, you don't have to settle because better outcomes are always within reach. And that overall drives the messaging of better economic and agronomic outcomes from the Massey Ferguson brand. And so at its highest level, we've kind of created this brand slide of how do we help farmers achieve better outcomes. And we took that straightforward, dependable, accessible message, and we turned it into 3 simple value proposition brand drivers. So at Massey Ferguson, if we're helping farmers, we're offering simple solutions. So from planting to harvesting, no matter what you're doing, we have a straightforward solution for you. Reduce training time, reduce money spent on unnecessary features, or giving technology that maybe the farmer doesn't need. We're your simple solution in the AGCO portfolio. And then in terms of dependability, how do we reduce downtime? How do we make sure that our equipment is always up and running so that you can always meet your crucial deadlines? And then the third part of that is greater accessibility. So we want to provide a lower cost of ownership, lower overall total cost of ownership for our farmers. And we think that our latest portfolio of products helps farmers achieve that. So I've talked a little bit about value propositions and value selling, but we've kind of made the switch from selling features and benefits to trying to sell outcomes, selling what the farmer is looking to accomplish. We want to make the farmer the hero, not the equipment, and we want to focus on what the equipment can do for the farmer, not just the horsepower or things like that. So we kind of took a step back and looked at our current product portfolio at the time and said, how do we help farmers achieve better outcomes? So we took a 4-step process. We listen, we understand, we innovate, we empower. So we want to create this feeling that Massey Ferguson is the better solution for the farmer. And an example here in recent years, looks like a slide's missing. Well, there was supposed to be a slide in here of talking about the 8S and how we took the 8S from the ground. We took a blank slate there, a clean sheet of paper, and created the 8S based on what the farmers were asking for. They were asking for more power. They were asking for a quieter cab, a more comfortable cab, things like that. And with the 8S, what we did is we built to what the farmer was asking for. So we were giving them what outcome they were looking for instead of just giving them a spec or a feature. Now, I've talked about achieve better outcomes and how do we help farmers achieve better outcomes. So we had the 3 value messages for our overall brand. We've also created those value messages for all of our individual product segments as well. So whether it be planters, sprayers, hay equipment, tractors, or the Gleaner Combine, we've created a better statement that we can use to just define those products to our farmers. So if we're talking about planters, we want to offer better emergence. If we're talking about sprayers, we want to offer better control. If we're talking about tractors, we want to offer a better cost per hour, and the Gleaner Combine, a better grain quality. So that's at the highest level. Each of our product segments has a achieve better statement that we use to define those products amongst our brand. And so we've created these, I call them value cards, for each of those product segments as well. So we have one of these for all 6 of those, I think all 7 of those segments that I just mentioned. But we've created these cards, and these are the drivers for those products of what our marketing message is going to entail. So for example, here, if we're talking about just our suite of high horsepower tractors as a whole, we want the farmer to achieve a better overall cost per hour by using our equipment. And they do that by using 15% less fuel with our S-Series tractors, some even up to 30%. We use field-proven technology, so we want to use guidance technology to improve field efficiency by 20% with our tractors, using MF Guide, MF Auto Turn, things like that. And then the third statement here is just increased dependability. We think that you can get a $2,000 maintenance savings just by using our equipment. So we've increased our service intervals to 600 hours so that we can deliver sustainability and fewer service intervals over the average trade cycle, so that the farmer saves more because of that. And then also in terms of dependability, we want to make sure that our equipment is always up and running. So I'm not going to dive through each one of these, but I've put in here each of our value prop cards for each of our product segments. So you can go back and look at this afterwards when Jordan sends this out, and you can see what our value statements are for planters, what they are for sprayers, windrowers, balers, combines, everything. We've created one of these for every product. And if you've looked at some of our recent marketing materials, you'll see that these are built into those now, whether you're looking at one of our sell sheets or our brochures that we've worked on recently. These value statements will show up in all of those. So here's just a kind of a little overview of how we're going to use Achieve Better in 2025 as a brand. So as our main brand campaign, we've created value messaging and creative, some of that I've showed you on these previous slides. But our goal is to apply those new value propositions and farmer personas to all areas of our content, whether that be both brand and dealer marketing. With my role kind of covering both of those segments, brand and dealer marketing, we're trying really hard to get some of the stuff that we're doing corporately available for you, the dealers, so that you can kind of take this marketing message that we've created, these value propositions that we've created, and start implementing them into your own marketing at the dealership level as well. So like I mentioned earlier, our focus on the brand side is on farmer solutions and less on product features. So we want to position the farmer as the hero of the story. And you'll see that a little bit in our creative and the things that we're posting on social media, where we want to put the focus on the farmer and the outcome that they're achieving, and less on just the tractor or the baler or the combine, whatever it is. We want the farmer and what they're doing, what they're accomplishing, to be the hero of our story. And you'll see that in our marketing message. Then we're also evolving our strategic messaging around these Massey Ferguson brand drivers. So straightforward, dependable, accessible within the context of the value messages. So like you saw on those brand prop cards, each of those value statements ties into either straightforward, dependable, or accessible in some way. And then these are just the key tactics and brand drivers that we're doing at a corporate level to put these messages out there to more farmers. So our main tactic throughout the year is digital advertising. We have a nationwide reach on our digital advertising, both paid social and paid search, that are going to be driving these messages throughout the year, as well as driving farmers to your dealership, to our website, to get into our lead funnel, and then eventually end up becoming a sale. We're going to update our website. We've already started this, and Brent's a huge part of this as well in his role with content. Is how do we update our website so that our strategic page layout includes the value propositions, includes new imagery to make the farmer the hero, and overall just makes the website easier, more accessible for farmers to get the information that they're looking for to help them achieve a better outcome. We're also demonstrating brand value with virtual and on-site factory tours and Massey Ferguson Experience training events throughout the year, both internal training to train our field staff to help get these value messaging out to you, the dealers, and then when we can, also providing trainings for you, the dealer, to help better understand what we're doing at a corporate level. We have new product launches this year, some of which you've probably already seen as they happen within the last month at these recent farm shows, but we launched the double baler, we launched our model year 25C tractor lineup, we launched our triple mower, and then later in the year, we'll be launching the new 5M. Each of these product launches focuses around these value messages and these brand propositions so that we're able to position them with these messages as soon as they hit the market. And then the last piece of it is social media. I mentioned that once before, but again, Brent here on the content creation side, he's done a great job to revamp our social media this year, and he'll kind of talk about this in a later slide, but what our new vision and goals are for that this year. And the last slide I believe that I have here for you is just how do we drive brand value at farm shows? So we've talked about these Achieve Better messages. We've talked about the value props. We've talked about these new product launches and everything we're doing. How do we get this out to the farmer as easy, in the best way possible? And so farm shows is one of the big events where we can hit a bunch of farmers at the same time. So we know that the farm show landscape is changing. The audiences are changing a bit. How do we evolve with them? So if you went to Farm Progress last year or either of the two farm shows earlier this year, you saw that we've kind of rebranded our booth with these Achieve Better visuals and messaging. So we're trying to sell the farmers on the solutions, not on the specs and features. And when we're having conversations at the booth, it's what can our products do to help you achieve the outcome that you're looking for. And so another part of this is how do we get the dealer more involved? So engage the regional dealer participation in farm shows by allowing you to bring customers to our booth, talk to our product experts, things like that. We're trying this out at Commodity Classic next week with some of the local dealers, trying to bring in some customers to just drive better conversations, at these shows. And so, when we've got that opportunity, we would like to get as many dealers involved as possible. Bring your farmers to our booth, talk directly to our people, get the message out there any way that we can. And so, I've listed the kind of the 5 major shows that we do on the Massey Ferguson side here. 2 of them have already passed: World Ag Expo, National Farm Machinery Show, Commodity Classic, like I mentioned, will be coming up next week. But then Farm Progress Show later in the year, and the NFR. The big events that Massey Ferguson has a presence at, and where we're going to drive our value propositions. So as I close out here and pass this off to Brent to discuss our social strategy and yep, I guess the social strategy. Here you go, Brent.
Cool. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. So I just wanted to touch briefly on our social strategy, as it's a huge piece of the puzzle for us at Massey Ferguson. We've really doubled down on social this year, made a huge investment in what this looks like, because we know it's important. It's one of the biggest brand awareness plays that we have from an organic perspective. And so really what we're trying to do here is flip flop how we talk to farmers, how we talk to our audience on social. Um, Zach mentioned it a little bit, but achieving better outcomes in that brand campaign, it's really for us not just a brand campaign or feel good messaging or visuals. It's really frames the way we talk and the way we are shifting from talking from specs and features to problems and solutions. So that's a lot of what you'll see on our social channels. We're speaking to the problems that our farmers are facing, and then we're also speaking to the solutions that we have that we can offer those farmers. We've really honed in on 2 goals for our social strategy this year. One, engage and grow. Our Instagram specifically is rather new. Our Facebook platform, we just you know emerged from the global landscape in the last couple of years, so our platforms are fairly new. So how do we grow those platforms and engage with our communities and build a thriving community where people can engage with us, they can find solutions, they can find information uh, for their farm and their operation that helps them achieve better outcomes. Things that we're doing, capturing more testimonials and stories, leveraging the best of the platforms like carousels on Instagram, using stories more frequently than we have before. Um, and also, a big part of that engagement and growing is engaging with our dealers, engaging with all of you and your social content, and sharing that whenever possible. And the second goal that we have uh, in our social strategy is awareness and positioning. So, Zach, you heard Zach say it, but how do we position Massey Ferguson as that brand that can help you achieve better? How can we help you achieve better outcomes? And so you'll see that from all of our brands, Massey Ferguson, Heston, and Gleaner. Uh, we're going to use this value proposition, visuals, and messaging across all those brands, but we're also going to keep what's unique about those brands as well. You'll see a lot of Heston Knows Hay, a lot, we're merging Gleaner, but we're also keeping it separate. But we want to talk about our brand as a whole and how we can fit into the farmer's um, operation and help them achieve outcomes with our entire portfolio. Um, you'll see potentially, as we get more studies and trials throughout the year, we'll share some of that data on our social platforms. Then another big thing that you'll see is more faces of our team. We're trying to get our product specialists, me, Zach, really bring a face and a name to Massey Ferguson and who we are. And I think a lot of these things that I'm talking about are also relatable to you as you guys are planning your social content for your dealership. How do you bring your face to the table and show your consumers your face, and also sell what solutions that you can bring to the table as a dealership? On the right there, you'll see our primary channels that we're focused on. We've sort of taken a secondary approach with X, just as it has become a different platform than it has in the past, and it hasn't really given us a lot of engagement. Our primary platforms that we'll focus on are Facebook and Instagram from a engagement and awareness standpoint there. And then YouTube is a huge one for us to invest in from a consideration and a retention standpoint. So we see a lot of how-to videos, a lot of walkarounds on those on that channel, just so that we can engage those individuals that are buying our equipment or looking to purchase our equipment. The other thing that we've done from a social perspective is really simplify our content pillars. We're talking about farmers, we're talking about equipment, and we're talking about our brand. Those are the three things that we're going after and that we're putting our content bucket in. So this is sort of how we're holistically looking at our social channels, and we just wanted to give you guys a little overview of that so that you can pull bits and pieces for your social strategies you're planning for 2025. And next, I'll turn it over to Brandon to go over Grow Bold.
Perfect. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we got you.
All right. Well, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Brent. It's always exciting. You know, I look back to what we have together between both Massey Ferguson and Fendt, and I get excited about our whole product portfolio and what we have to offer. I think I've been with AGCO since really 2006, and this is by far the best I think we've ever seen our whole entire portfolios to make our dealers successful. And we had the virtual dealer meeting yesterday. You heard a lot of the news that is going around, how we're positioning these brands. We're getting a little bit deeper on how we do that specifically, as well as how we're enabling our farmers to leverage the technology that we're able to offer now with Trimble and the PTx brands. So this is exciting times. We've never had it this good before. So let's keep the gas pedal forward. And this part right now, we're going to go through Fendt specifically on the Grow Bold campaign and how we're growing bolder. We did have a dealer marketing conference last fall in October at the Fendt Lodge. We're super blessed to be able to have a facility like that we can actually tell our story, bolted on to the fact that we've got track tractors and rogators also manufactured and produced there too, so customers can get a chance to experience the products, but also understand the brand. You know, if you think back, even since, you know, we introduced the brand in North America in 1998, you know, it really hasn't taken off exponentially until we launched the 1000 series in 2015. And then we started to expand that portfolio beyond tractors into planters and rogators and Ideal Combine and track tractors. So those things came in. So we felt the need in our marketplace. You know, we had the campaign Grow Bold, but now it's more of a call to action to you as a dealer marketer as well to also help grow bolder. And so this presentation is kind of taking us a little bit through that time frame and walk from where we were in 2015, 2018 to where we are now. So let's see if this.
I think we might have lost Brandon there for a second. I think he hit the wrong button here. We'll give him a minute to jump back in.
Jack, you're totally right. I clicked the wrong button. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Yep, you're good to go.
Here we go. Sorry about that, everybody. I hit the off exit stage, not the click right button. So why bold? Why do that? You know, you feel a little bit in the marketplace going against titans like David and Goliath with John Deere. Sometimes you're the David position, Goliath being John Deere, and it just seems like, man, they got so many resources. They got all these things. You know, we're constantly fighting an uphill battle. That is a big reason why we've got to be bold. Net farm income is also a challenge. You know, we look at weakening farm income right now and the sentiment for customers' willingness to buy. You know, the mood is often difficult having those conversations with farmers when they can't see line of sight of what the futures are looking like for their commodity prices and how they're able to fund, you know, new assets like tractors and combines and sprayers to be able to make them successful. So this is an opportunity for us where status quo is not our friend. Like, we cannot be a mix in the middle right now of just keeping it plain, keeping it blah. We've got to be different. We've got to do something that's going to catch the attention of our farmers and make them want to join with us. So be bold. Be really bold. Bold is something that's how we're going to start to interact more and more effectively. And you've probably seen some of the ads that we've done. It's in the font. You know, I look at this picture right now. This is kind of an AI image, but bold, the letters on the page even are in bubbly font to make it stand out, and be bold as well. So you'll see that in some of our graphics designs. We've got a story to tell. You know, you look at Massey Ferguson having 175 years plus of being in the industry is absolutely incredible. That is something we can beat our chests on every single day, that, you know what, we've invented so much in this industry. Fendt equally has a story, not as long, but almost 100 years, starting in 1930. This Fendt family, that top left image, you know, they were experts in the industry in making clock towers and metal fabrication in Bavaria, Germany. They were experts at a craft that carried over into agriculture as they were starting to move away from horse-drawn implements into machinery and mechanization. You know, they look at one of the first Diesel Ross tractors there in the middle. Innovation with new terminals, operating systems, user interfaces, combines, sprayers. The amount of technology, industry first, that we have in our product portfolio is second to none. And we've got nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever in the way our products can solve farmer problems. Just like what Zach and Brent talked about, we are helping them achieve success. Gold Star customer care. This is another thing, an asset in our portfolio to be bold about. You know, nobody else in the industry has anything remotely close like this, where we take your whole product line, anything you buy from us has a fixed cost. You don't have to worry about anything other than putting fuel and diesel in, you know, and grease in your machinery for 3 years. And a lot of you update that to 5 years. This is a huge deal, and you'll see us start to amplify that this year even more, because it's time to not be status quo and hide this information. It is now time to be bold and act bold when it comes to the level of care that you guys are giving to these customers under Gold Star customer care. Finally, Net Promoter Score. When it comes to Fendt, the loyalty and satisfaction is second to none. Those that come into the product, experience the product, they know it, they understand what it can deliver. I was on a call with a customer out of Central Illinois 2 days ago, and he told me that you guys have just changed the game. We're not in the mindset of having to roll equipment like John Deere does every year, because guess what? The product's better. And with that, it comes out in our Net Promoter Score, 82. That's an industry level that nobody can achieve. This is something we got to beat our chests on, and you deliver that experience to the customers to help them achieve that level of satisfaction like none other. They said we can hold on our equipment longer, get better value out of our used machinery. And guess what? We're spending some more money on our additional technology that's retrofittable to help us stay fresh. And we're not having to have the pains of also some new equipment out there with maybe software issues and startup issues. We know what we got because the quality is a lot better. Made us feel really proud. This is some sentiments from other customers. Alan Gons from Indiana. He was a competitive customer, all John Deere. He said, for us in the farming community that we're in, making the switch to buying Fendt was a bold move. You're damn right it was. We were probably the furthest one away from other John Deere and Case dealers right beside him. And for this guy particularly, who sells a ton of seed to all of his friends and colleagues, him going to Fendt was a bold move, and he's never been prouder of that switch. And now his neighbors and farm neighbors are switching to Fendt too. Jim Fisher, a customer out of South Dakota, said they think outside the box. They're not afraid to try new things. They're willing to take a chance. And we are. You look at some of the product innovations that we have, having a RoGator go to 2 different heights in a single machine, and then also have dry fertilizer system as well as liquid herbicide systems. That is innovation that takes it literally to new heights. You've never seen anything like that. We're willing to take the chance. We're willing to break that status quo. Chad News, the customer out of Minnesota, he said the guy who's driving Fendt is a guy that's probably a little bit more open-minded, willing to take a chance and try something different. They were all John Deere. They've switched in the last year every single product that we have to Fendt. Tractors, 5 tractors, RoGator sprayer, Ideal combine, and now Momentum planter. It has been an absolute treat. And these guys see it when they get into one product, they're going to get into all the products. So we set out to be bold in what we do, make, and what we say. And that led us into our campaign. You've seen this before, Grow Bold. It was black and white. We did this for several reasons. Number one, when we set out the campaign, we didn't have all the new assets that we really needed. And so it was actually a little bit easier for us to make it in black and white, but we also made them black and white too, because it grabbed the attention of something different. It wasn't status quo in the marketplace. It wasn't what they were visually used to seeing all the time in the marketplace. So seeing something black and white caught their attention. And then the Grow Bold was almost at the beginning a way for them, a call to action to them of like, hey, grow bold with us. You know, be the first ones to step in, really be the ones to take that risk and that chance to do something different, something that you're not used to. Trackstar as well. Some other ads that we had, these are all black and white. Fortune favors the bold. These are some other ads that you've seen in the marketplace. Succeed with every seed. We also had bold partnerships. Bold partnerships like Luke Bryan to help us drive awareness. Is every farmer out there a Luke Bryan fan? No. But what Luke Bryan did was help us gain awareness to markets that we didn't have, and help elevate the brand in a position where it really should be at a premium level inside the marketplace. And Luke has done that, and we continue to partner with him on farm tours. So we had an evolved strategy. That evolved strategy helped us understand, like, where do we want to go after Grow Bold moving into 2025, not being the status quo? How do we get that call to action to the farmers to help be bold with us? And we kind of landed on the tagline, similar to what Massey Ferguson has with Achieve Better. Our strategy involves something a little bit different. We call it your confident choice in next level farming. And I want you to pause and think about what that means for your territory specifically, because everybody in this call is coming from a little bit different geography of where they're physically at. Next level farming may mean something different to your farmers. It could be the way you may be hauling manure, for example, doing it more efficiently. It could be next level farming of going from 2 combines down to 1 combine. It could be removing a articulated 4-wheel drive and replacing it with a Fendt 1000 series. And now you're able to use that machine in 4 seasons versus just 2, spring and fall tillage. That confident choice as next level farming is what Fendt is doing, and we're being bold with that strategy, and that's what's going to set us forward in the marketplace. So we come to Grow Bold 2.0. You're going to see that in the coloring, the font, the type of energy. It's kind of unleashing us a little bit inside too, that, you know what, it's no longer, Mr. Customer, can you please be bold? can you be bold with us? It's no, you damn right we're bold. And we know we're bold, and we're going to rely on the fact that we can back up and do what we say we're going to do. These ads like this, this is a customer just outside of Jackson, Minnesota, east of Jackson, for example. We did a filming shoot on his farm back in April. He said, they treat my bottom line like it's their own. This is Mark Doyle out of Austin. He didn't know that we made Fendt products in Jackson, which is only 90 miles away. You know, his family eventually came to Jackson in the Fendt Lodge, and he said, this is incredible. I cannot believe what you guys have done and achieved here. And he's one of our biggest brand advocates out there. He's preaching to everybody out there. But you see the way that this image pops out of the page. The font is coming a little bit more bold. We're trying to highlight the tone of it's their own, meaning we're treating your farmers as if they're, you know, our farmers. We're trying to put ourselves in the mindset of the farmer too and be bold. Success runs in this family, you know, really trying to amplify the fact that our portfolio for a row crop farm works as an ecosystem. That doesn't always fit in every region around Canada, Great Lakes, or on the West Coast, southern part horseshoe of the United States. But in the corn and soybean belt, this ecosystem of a product that works really well, we're really trying to amplify the whole family portfolio. What you do in harvesting with residue management impacts what you do with the momentum planter in the spring and that emergence out of the crop. And guess what? It's not pulled by anything better than a Fendt tractor, because it's got low engine rev technology with leading hydraulic output. And then take care of that crop through the summer with your rogator. So we've got the products to take care of their whole crop cycle, regardless of the region. And they're beautiful pictures. They stand out. They pop out from the page. You really want those to be bold. You know, taking your operation to new heights. Literally, this is talking about the 2-in-1 system of the Fendt rogator. These ads, banners, digital placement, amplifying Gold Star, the way we put these out there, these are located on the dealer portal, and you can download these today. I forget how many we have. There's literally hundreds of new assets in this new Grow Bold 2.0 look and feel that you can download today, put your dealership name and location on them, and help us drive that business that's really going to amplify the brand. This is another one. I like this because it was a rotation on your phone through social media. Maybe you've seen this out there in the marketplace. Eeny, meeny, miny, more results. And it just kind of flashed and rotated through as it got towards the end. These would catch the attention differently in the palms of the hands of our audience. Bold new TV and video. I haven't had a chance to test this. I'm going to play this video now just to see if you guys can hear it, but it's popping out larger than life. I'm going to click for it. Hopefully it comes through. Can you see the video?
Brandon, we haven't had a whole lot of luck on the platform with video, but we can always send it after the fact to everyone in our email if that works.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. One thing you'll notice, the way we wanted to tell that story of being bold, is this is like the intro part of a family video that we did in just east of Jackson there at Doyle Farms. We wanted to make it come out of life. So if you're sitting as an audience member in a movie theater, for example, we rotoscoped the black bar at the top and the bottom, and it made it feel like it was jumping off the page kind of at you to look bigger than it was. And it gives you a feeling of like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. It's something different. We did that in several of the shoots, even like this service truck shot. You know, we make them look like they're coming out a little bit like 3D. So we'll definitely send these in a follow-up. But these are airing right now, like as we speak in the marketplace, really since about mid-January to get all these out there. And this is an animated slide here too. The wheels were turning. This was a Red Wheel Deal campaign that we had towards the end of last year to also bring that grow boldness to life too. There's going to be more of that coming this year too, as we get our finance programs locked in and we can start to promote that, but stay tuned for some more. So what's the call to action? This is not easy to do. It's definitely, we talked about this at the dealer marketing conference, of getting outside of your comfort zone. We need you to grow bold with us. We cannot do this alone. You are our interface with the customers. We're just trying to help channel everybody's attention to get to you. And if you're not as bold and as strong about the products as we are, well, then we start to fall down. The need and call to actions that we need you to grow bold with us. Be proud of your dealerships. Be proud of who you are. You're doing something different in industry. I think of some specific examples where people have really stepped out of their comfort zone. One in particular was, I hope she doesn't mind me putting her on the spot, was Kelby up at in Canada. She did Instagram videos called Kelby in the Cab, and they're fantastic. Really just simple things that help teach customers about, hey, this feature does this. It's not complicated. It's not a spaceship. When you enter into the cab, these things are achievable. Many of you are doing your own YouTube channels. Many of you are putting together a lot of content. And I think we need to feed off of each other of that success. And you're doing a great job. And I want to tell you to keep on doing that. Keep doing what you're doing and continue to grow bold. And we're here to back you up. With that, keep in mind, if you haven't logged on the dealer portal to see these assets, whether it's Massey Ferguson with Achieve Better or Fendt with Grow Bold 2.0, I encourage you to carve the time out and do that. Look back through the portal and understand from the Whole Goods marketing team what new assets you have available: video, radio, pop-up banners, digital ads, new photographs to help you be successful. You're going to see a lot more to come throughout this year from both brands. One thing that we're excited, we did launch a marketing campaign on this. It was an Engage bulletin that happened just a few weeks ago, was a Grow Bold Award. Now, we're putting the money where our mouths are too. But we want to help incentivize you to be bold as well too. So therefore, we're launching this year. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, and we hope your bosses and dealership will back us up on this. But as a Grow Bold Award, and we have the asset of the Fendt Lodge, for example, to be able to host something like this. But the point is, there'll be some follow-ups to this, but we want you to nominate a marketing person at the dealership who really embodies a Grow Bold via an email or a nomination letter to us. From that, we will choose a winner to be announced mid-August. This is a change that we had from the previous announcement, if you recall. And the reason we want to do that in mid-August is that we're going to give a prize to 2 full travel expenses paid to the Luke Bryan concert of your choice in September. So this is September. There's 3 dates of the concerts: the 19th, the 18th, 19th, or 20th in Illinois, Wisconsin, or Michigan. And we'll cover all of your travel costs for you plus a friend of the winners there. And then also have a plaque added at the Fendt Lodge to help embody that Grow Bold spirit. So this is something that we're trying to help promote, be bold. We've already seen some examples of that in the marketplace today and what you're doing. And we just want to help encourage you to continue doing what you're doing and find the right winner who embodies that bold spirit. That, I think, concludes my portion of it, right? With Fendt?
Yep. Thank you, Brandon.
Awesome. Hey, thank you all for your attention. Thank you, Brent, Zach. Really appreciate teaming up with you guys here on this, and we'll be in touch. So thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. And if you have questions for Brandon, Brent, or Zach, feel free to pop them in the chat and we can connect you with them. You're welcome to reach out to your ACO direct account manager as well with any questions, as always. Well, thank you all. Thank you three for walking us through those new brand campaigns. I'm just going to walk through quickly a few different ways we can implement these strategies into our marketing going into this year. I know Brandon called out all these assets are available on the ACO Direct portal, so that's a great resource for these campaigns or anything else that you could need marketing wise. It's a great resource. So I'm going to go into a couple tactics, and these are all ones that you could either implement on your own at your dealership or work with your ACO Direct account manager on as well. So the first one here, with awareness being our goal for a lot of these campaigns, along with lead generation, of course, we have paid social media here. You can see down below the different graphics we have here. Then with like a carousel, we really like using social media because it's effective at garnering awareness and providing leads to your dealership. We can get really detailed with the targeting. Here how we have it listed out here by geography, demographics. We will exclude certain demographics. There's a lot of different options here. Another benefit of paid social is it's very timely. It's something that you can put up in a short amount of time, take it down, update your creative, A/B test things. And relatively, when digital marketing comes, it's on the lower side as far as cost goes. Organic social media, as we all know and love, too, is a great way to connect with your audience and get those messages across. All these graphics featured in these two posts here are on the portal, so make sure to leverage those. Again, another great way to weave this strategy into your marketing. Next here, we have some Google Network display ads. These are those ads where we'll provide Google or other platforms 15 or so images and headlines, and they will work to create ads specifically for your audience member based on their interactions online. These are really great at getting customers' attention, getting them to your website to learn more and to fill out lead forms, to call your dealership, all those things, and making conversions, which is always our main goal here. So just another example of how we can implement that messaging into your overall marketing. And lastly, I know Brandon had called these out too, but there's also digital banner ads available on the portal. This is another great awareness tactic, getting people to your website as well. A lot of great assets to leverage here. So again, another great option. I know too on the portal, we also have radio scripts, print ads, potentially billboards and other resources for both of these campaigns. And if you have any issues accessing these on the portal, make sure to reach out to your ACO direct account manager as well. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here. I don't think we have enough time to kind of walk through questions as a group, but if you leave a question, we will make sure to respond to it and get back to you over email. And with that, I think that concludes our presentation today. But we appreciate all of your time here, and thank you again to our presenters, Zach, Brent, and Brandon today. Yeah, hope everyone. Oh, Brent,
No,
go ahead.
I was just going to add on the ACO Direct side, we didn't get it in these slide decks, but we just loaded a bunch of Achieve Better assets into the dealer portal. So go check those out. Posters, pull-up banners, print ads, all kinds of things. Those value proposition slides that Zach showed, we've turned those into takeaway cards that you can order and leave with customers. So check all those assets out too.
Awesome. Great call out. Sweet. Well, we appreciate you all and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.